Hi there guys and welcome to another Train Sim 2020 video. Today I am looking at the very much anticipated Class 50 by Bossman Games and Armstrong Powerhouse. This has been in the works for quite a while. We originally saw the first sort of inklings of it on Bossman Games' Facebook group, and then it sort of got passed over to AP. So from what I've been told, AP have done the scripting and the sounds, and Bossman Games have done the visuals. So by visuals I mean it's what you see. So your cabs, your exterior, your texturing, your modelling, that sort of thing, and AP have done the scripting, so how the locomotive drives, how it feels, that sort of thing, and how it sounds. Interesting combo, really cool combo. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works because it is great to see other developers partner with AP as well to get some of the best bits of content for Train Sim we have out there. We had the wonderful 37 pack by MKS and AP, so let's hope this is up there with that. A little bit of a first note, 50s, not something I am massively keen on. They're not a loco that I've ever had anything really to do with. They're not something that makes me go, ooh, that's really nice. They just never really have done it for me. But I said that about plenty of locomotives. I said that about 37 before I got in the cab of 37, and now I love them and got a bit of time with them. So having one in Train Sim is always a bit of a bonus for me. It makes me sort of fall in love with trains that I don't usually think I would have done in the first place. So let's get going and get this thing moving. It looks lovely already. Scenarios are always going to be good. We do have Clag Factor. Let's get that Clag Factor up. We've got double-headed NSE working here. Hello driver, first things first, open the doors here at Newton Abbot where you're booked to depart at 0712. You will then call at Timoth, Dawlish Warren, Starcross, St Thomas, St David's. Enjoy the run along the seawall in this beautiful morning. So we're double-headed, which is quite nice. It sounds good. You can hear it over the Valentas there. Making really good use of the Mark II pack there. With the NSC coaches. They just started shutting. They've just shut. You can hear that whine. I've spent quite a bit of my week. That camera's a little bit high. I've spent quite a bit of my week watching Class 50 videos and trying to do a bit of research on them, just sort of got something to compare them to. I have heard one in real life, I've been around them in real life, but as I said, I didn't pay masses of attention. Right, let's get in the cab and have a look and a listen. Yeah, nice. What different views do we have? Oh, that's cool. Motor cutout switches. Oh, it is just for the motor cutouts, that's fine. That's cool. Oh, nice. So can't switch the exhausters. Brake switch. Compressor changeover switch. Nice. Fuel prime and engine start. You can't prime it though. Oh, better get that on. We've got... Nice. Got an NRN. Perfect. I'm not going to be fussed about NRN. We've seen NRNs in other trains before. Let's get master key on. Get this to engine only. Instrument lights on. Headlights on. Tail lights off. I'm guessing they're going to be up here. Cab heaters, demisters, tail lights look off. Drive side light, marker lights on. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Okay. So because we've got opening windows, I'm guessing we don't have a thrash mode. No, that's good. Oh, I'm quite excited. Brings me back to my proper MSTS days. It's probably the last time I really drove a 50 that much. Oh, R to go back with a pin as well, like that. It's going to sit at 16, is it? Right, that's fine. Oh, rundown's nice. Shouldn't really be going straight into off. Should leave it in on. Okay. It's so nice to have a 50 in the game, though. I'm not going to trip that, am I? I want to be careful. I haven't read the manual yet to know if I can overload this or not. It's pretty nippy double-headed, I won't lie. Oh, is that a field diver out there? That is gorgeous, isn't it? I can definitely see why people like a 50. Yeah, that's lovely. That's nice. Sounds I don't know if they're completely spot on, but from what I've heard of 50s and videos and stuff, that sounds brilliant. Let's put a smile on my face, put it that way. Not 100% sure on the texture in the cab, but that's me. That's about it. I think it's unfair to compare this to like the 37 as such. Well, for me it is, because I'm a bit biased with that one. I sort of love it. Very nice. And for 1999, jeez, yeah. Oh, I've got to slow down wicked. Going to hear this drop off a little bit. Nice rundown. Brake rub's good. Brake rub's. That is very cool. The sounds are just stunning. The cab feels right, the cab feels nice, physics feel lovely. Yeah, well done, guys. Well done. I think as collaborations go, this is definitely not a bad one, is it? At all. Not bad at all. It's nice. It's very, very nice. No complaints. Weathering. A lot of these were incredibly grimy. So it's nice to see that sort of included as well. I think the thing you'll always get as well is you'll never get, it's very, very difficult, I think, to get MKS's sort of worn paint style. And we'll see, I bet that they should match up perfectly fine, I think. Nameplates and crests are nice as well. Very nice. Right, let's get a bit of, no, let's get out of the cab for this pull away. Let's be naughty and see if we can get it to slip. Yes! That sounds fantastic. It's like a rocket! Nice horn as well. It's just got that very English electric sound to it, hasn't it? You know, the physics is quite good as well. It's not one of those locos that you just have to have on like 1% to keep speed. It's dropping speed quite nicely there. Like that. Right. Before we stop at Dawlish, let's have a read. So what do we get? BR Blue, so post refurb. Let me make this clear. So 50s were refurbed late 70s, early 80s, I think it was. So a bit of history that I know about them. Now this might not be completely nutty correct, but it's as good as I can remember off the top of my head. Originally ordered, well, tendered by BR, built by English Electric, and then by the time the British Transport Commission basically turned around and said, now we're going to standardise everything, so you had a standard cab, everything like that, blah, 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 blah. So English Electric went away and came back with DP2, because it was a 2,500 horsepower locomotive, that's what they were going for. And then by the time that British Transport Commission said, yes, we'll have it, they had to put the standard cab on it, which is why you got a cab like this on DP on the 50s, not like on DP2. There's some clever features in them, rheostatic braking, lots of complex electronics. British Transport Commission then didn't really want them because they're standardised on Class 47s. But what they did was lease them. So I think it's British Rail's first leased train. Leased them from English Electric for 10 years, I think it was. Then they took them on fully. They did the runs between sort of Carlisle and Glasgow Central, or Crewe Glasgow Central, depending on when the electrification was. That was finished 74, 76, was it? Then they got transferred to the Western region to take over from the Westerns that were being phased out. And then they ended up on the NSE sort of Southwestern Mainline stuff. I always find it really weird that Network South East ran the Southwestern Mainline. Really odd, but yes. They went for a refurb. They were originally called Hoovers because they had rheostatic braking and a very complex and not particularly efficient way of cooling. So what would end up happening is the way in an engine room you need to expel oil-filled, thick, dense air and refresh it with cool air. Now, English Electric had been making locomotives for the world at this point and had used this system in other locomotives and it worked fine. But with the 50s, what happened was they hadn't taken in the humidity of the UK and the way that, like, the different changes in temperatures between other places and all that sort of jazz. So it was getting all the vents and the filters and the air purification system, filtration system was getting clogged up. So they'd quite often fail because of not being able to get clean enough air in. They'd get main generator flashovers, all sorts of jazz like that. Not very nice stuff. So when BR took them over properly, they overhauled them, took all that... Oh, Firebell works! Ho, 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 ho. Yes! It moves as well! Awesome. Little features of that make me giggle. So, they took out the cooling system, replaced it, took out the rheostatic braking, didn't replace that. And hence they were known as Hoovers pre-refurb, and then after that they were still known as Hoovers but didn't make the Hoover noise. Ended their days in the late 80s, early 90s, I think 92, 93 maybe was their last run of, maybe even a bit later than that, no, 293 I think, maybe 91. As a kid I remember magazines being filled with pictures of these on scrap lines, and it being a real bad, sad thing. Right, so, as I was saying, you're getting BR Blue with NRN, GSMR with orange and cant rail, large logo with cant rail without, large logo with black roof, cant rail and without cant rail, large logo with a blue roof, Network Southeast revised, so I think we've got a bit of both on here. Yeah, so that's Network Southeast normal, so that's the original. This one that goes up, and then you had revised, which is where you had that little sort of bit, like the arrow, reversed arrow there. And then there was revised 2, which I don't know the differences, so I might have just told you that completely wrong. That might be revised 2. Seeing very little difference, but somebody, all of you will notice it. Oh, BR train load. I don't think it ever wore that in real life, did it? Or civil engineers, but I think some of the preservation ones have done. And then civil engineers grey and yellow, Dutch, beautiful, very nice livery. Lyra blue with GSMR and NRN. It's got some sound to it, that. We'll stop at Dorshore, won't we? Great Western Green. What is that LMS livery? That's foul. Load Hall. Never really thought it suited it. Inner City Swallow, which again, Load Hall and Inner City Swallow, I don't think they ever wore. I'm pretty 90%, 99% sure they didn't wear those in service. They would be done in preservation. GBRF, which suppose they did wear in service and are wearing in service. So GBRF have leased, is it 2 of them, I think? I've got it. Ah, I'm going to have missed that. Did I miss it? No. But I should have basically let it do that because I'm coming in way too hot here. Sander sounds nice as well. I haven't even counted how many coaches I have, and I'm double-headed, so I might. Dawlish Warren got HST stop markers. It does, yeah. I should probably be at those. Right, this is another thing that I was quite interested in. Is they come with the FVX motor rail wagons, which are cool. So these were used on this. I don't know if these were used on the Anglo-Scottish motor rails as well. I think they were originally. So they've got vintage vehicles from the early 1980s on it. So from what I can see is a original Renault 5 Mark 1 Golf Triumph 2500, or is it meant to be a Toledo? Not sure. And a Peugeot 50 something or other, I think it probably was. They're very cool. I want to get a look at those as well, but I'll show you those in a different video because I'll probably do the video that comes, the scenario that comes with those and shows them off. Cab differences. So yeah, we've got seal inside, below seat, which is the AWS. You've got the, oh, that's an engine room panel with a motor cut out. That's quite cool. No, with the brake switch. And then yeah, you've got that's in the engine room as well, the motor cut out. Maybe like to see a little bit more functionality on those, to be fair. So cab variants, NRN radio, optional TPWS, TPWS GSM-R. Oh, there's some that are different, that are sort of a darker colour as well. The GB Rail Freight one's a darker colour. That might be worth having a look at. See if it changes some of this hand brush texture. Now, I know a lot of locos do have a very hand brush texture, and I'm sure maybe the one they looked at was like that. It's got character. What can I say? Traction physics. Great error has been taken. Blah, 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 blah. Affiliate the text in this recording this pack. We also record the speedometer and ammeter. I've seen this in action, how this is done. It's very clever. Been translated accordingly into train sim. In the past, locomotives of this type have been plagued by limitation where the speed, the amount of power being applied was not proportional to the power handle, and as a result, you could happily maintain a high speed with not much power applied. One of my bugbears in TS, but it's sorted. On top of this, field diverts have been implemented at the correct speeds of 28. So there you sort of jump a little bit. 28 mile an hour, 44 miles an hour, 58 miles an hour. What are the brackets? Right, hold on then. Train heat's not on. What's that switch? I'm going to have to get my manual out and have a look at some of the things. I've got a 50 manual, so we'll have a look. Water bottle, DSD holdover, horn. Do we get a little tip like knocking that? No, not really fussed about things like that, but it does make things a little bit more funny, I suppose. Don't worry about NRN. That's a nice... I always like it when somebody puts a cab view like that in. This is cool. So in this you've literally got the brake selector, compressor selector, and engine start. That is literally just that. Okay. Park and brake wheel. I love it. I love it. And I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do. I'll be honest, because I don't really... I mean, even this route for me isn't one of my favourites. And it was sort of where they were used. I mean, for me, and this is really sort of different to what I'd usually sort of go on about. I'll enjoy the GBRF one, I think. I'll definitely do some good scenarios in that. I think actually Dan Holmes has sent me a very basic run over already, but also pre-refurb would have been really hard to get because of the sounds. There isn't any, and there's very little, if any, recordings of sound that are of any use, I think. But we've seen people magic like this before. If there is another pack of this, which I don't know if there will be, I'm not. This is pure speculation and sort of slightly wishing. I would love to be running one of these up the West Coast mainland. I'm still going to. I don't care if it doesn't sound the same. So realistically, it doesn't really matter if there isn't another one because I will still do it. So as a post-refurbed run and taking one up over Shap and Beatuk, that'll be cool. That'll be very cool. It's got a lot of amps on tap, this, without a very high engine rev. Was there something in this about this? So in addition to implemented braking, a performance decrease when supplying ETH. This is calculated by taking the length of train, estimated ETH load accuracy. Excellent. Realistic time delays between power being applied and being removed. Fantastic. Brakes, so it's done with dual brakes. Brake selector switch. It has got wheel slip. Haven't had that yet. It's got the cooling fan simulation as well, so you've got idle shutters open, intermediate and high. So the shutters open. I suppose considering there's two of these, they're not being massively worked. But you can see they're at different states. It's quite nice. I like that. Dynamic exhaust, variable traction motor volume. Always have that high. GSMR, NRN, which we've seen 1,000,001 times before. Cold start, excellent. Oh yeah, fully detailed one. Like it. Bits and bobs, my favourite. Oh, well, we get this up to 100 before Exodus, Thomas. I hope so. I'm just going to thrash it and see. Sounds lovely. So there's weathered variants of each livery. All 50 nameplates. Motor cutout switch. Back walls of number 1 and number 2 cab are modelled to show their differences. Good. 1 second delay. Headlight only illuminates during the day. Excellent. Cooling fan is audible from number 1 cab. Variable speed windscreen wipers. Brilliant. 5-bell ringer moves when fire alarm test carried out. Perfect. Love that little touch. As per reality, the speedometer needle wobbles when providing a reading. Oh, look at the main reservoir gauge there. Oh yeah, like that. Opening cab doors and windows. I didn't clock that one. And they're also visible from outside. Nice noise. I've never been in a train cab where the door works properly. You have to either sort of do it with your gut and like bash it open or slam it shut. And the driver moves from AI automatically whatever cab you're in. Brilliant. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scenarios. Riviera line, Riviera line, Riviera line, Riviera line, Wherry lines and Wherry lines. Brilliant. Looking forward to a Wherry line scenario. One of them I think uses the carriage sidings that haven't been used since that run. And then credits go to Nick for scripting the Bodmin and Wentford Railway for recording the sounds. Brilliant. It's actually one of the very few preserved railways I know. And the Class 50 Alliance for reference material. Fantastic. Now, well done, boys. This is I'm very, very pleased with this. It's cool. Full chat, come on. 50 fans tend to be quite a clique group of people. But I can definitely see why they love them. God, I can definitely see why they love them. Also, I suppose driving it, if this is all modest, it's quite a refined bit of kit. So it's quite an easy drive. It's not a very taxing drive. The 37, you've sort of got to be on it a bit, haven't you? This, you don't necessarily well, don't have to be on it that much from what I've seen so far. So then, driving guide, breakdown. Any service setting between 32% and full service 64%. To provide a stop, it's recommended to be in first application as you come to a stop. Yeah, long may this continue. Now, I know Bossman Games had a 60 in the works. Now, that I would be very, very, very pleased to see. And if it was done like a collaboration like this, I'd be a very, very happy man. The 60 is something I am desperate to see. And to the standards that they've got this, yeah. Strangely, what this reminds me of, and it's not saying they're similar, but it reminds me of the 37 pack. No, the 31 pack, sorry. And I loved the 31 pack. Still do love the 31 EP. It's not as sluggish or as sort of maybe not got as much feel as such as the 31 sort of does, because it's a lot less powerful. And this is double-headed, so it's bad to start taking physics and feel of things off a double-headed loco anyway. But yeah, what a bit of kit. Go and buy it. 19.99. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. And there will be a ton of scenarios out there. We have been desperate. Well, I've not been, but there has been people that have been desperate for a decent 50 in TS for a long, long time. I'd expect a lot of older scenarios to get redone. Just need some decent Mark 1s now, don't we? Oh, look, the sleeper being tagged on the back, look. If you like diesels, noisy diesels, you like clag, you like the noise, no reason why you won't like the 50, really. It's put a smile on my face, I will not lie. Alright then, guys, thank you ever so much. Big congratulations to Ben Jarvis, Richards, Nick and all others that have had their hand in this. You've done a good job. It's very, very nice. Well done. Once again, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Head over to alanthomsonsim.com for all your latest train simulator needs. And also head over to the Facebook group and Twitch on a Sunday from 7 PM and a Wednesday from 7 PM for a more adult pup-themed atmosphere talking about trains. Once again, guys, I've said that about 40 times today, so it's not once again. Take care. Catch you next time.